Welcome back, Toronto Wine Drinker, TorontoWineDrinker.com. Lucky enough right now to be in Niagara on the Lake. It's a beautiful day, and I'm joined by Mark Bradshaw. You probably remember him from another video on the blog, on the website, on the Facebook page, all over the internet you are.
Oh,
but it's Mark Bradshaw, the winemaker from Strewn Winery. Mark, how's it going?
Good, mate, good. Yeah. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Good to see you. We're going to do a little tour today. We're going to take a look around. Mark, what are we going to look at today?
Just look throughout the winery, mate. Yeah. You know, we'll go see our production side of things. We'll head out into the vineyard, we'll check out some fruit, and then, of course, we better end up at the tasting bar.
We better end up at the tasting bar, yeah. Tell me a little bit about Strewn. How long has it been around? How long have you been here?
So Strewn opened in '97. It's put together by three guys, Joe Will and Jane Langdon. Jane actually runs the cooking school here.
Okay.
And then Newman Smith as well. And Joe Will, owner, was winemaker up until he hired me in 2011.
Wow, okay.
So I'm just about to do my third crush here.
Nice. Third crush here. I guess a lot of crushing back home. How did you make your way over from the, you can tell by the accent, he's our resident Australian in Niagara on the Lake.
Yep. So, yeah, I was bouncing around, chasing crushes. So it sounds romantic, but actually it was bloody hard work. So I was just bouncing between hemispheres.
Really?
Ended up here back in '04 and worked as a
wow,
cellar.
You've been in Canada that long?
Yeah.
Or at least in and out of Canada that long? Wow.
Okay. Worked as a cellar rat. It was supposed to be for 5 months. And that turned into a assistant winemaker job at a winery down the road, which turned into a winemaker job when my boss moved on. And yeah, ever since '06, I've really sort of been permanently here.
Wow, and now you're the winemaker of Strewn Winery in Niagara on the Lake. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
I love it. I've got the best job in the world. I really do, yeah.
Sounds like it. Let's go take a look inside and see what you do.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, Mark, so we're back. Now you've taken me to some cavernous place, and I'll get some shots of this afterwards. It goes back, I don't know, half a football field that way, and it's full of all kinds of stuff. Just take me through, what is this room? What are you doing here?
So this is basically our what we call our press house. So we receive our fruit here once it's coming off the vines. We'll put it in the crusher to stemmer, and then if it's white, it'll go straight to the press and press out the juice. If it's red, we'll go through the crusher to stemmer and into something like an open fermenter. We start the fermentation and make some wine. Now,
when you say if it's white, it goes one way. If it's red, it goes the other. A lot of people, in fact, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. They weren't sure. They thought that something got added in order to make a wine red.
Yeah.
Take them through the process of why it's white, why it's red.
Okay, so, well, the white is really just the colour of the juice that comes out of there.
No matter what the grape is.
No matter what the grape, yeah.
Okay.
And with the red, you'll often have a touch of a pink sort of tinge in there, possibly. But the real red colour that you'll get is from the skins. Okay. There's those, what they call the anthocyanin little compounds in the skins. So when you're making a red wine, you'll actually sort of macerate your juice and your skins, sort of mix it up. And every day we'll do what we call like a plunge down, because you'll get your skins rising up and we just sort of force it back down again.
Right.
And through that whole process, you actually get your colour for your red wine.
So the longer that the juice sits on the skins, or sits, amongst the skins and the stems, it's going to gather up the colour and make it red. So would that mean then, and this is actually how the conversation came up with the person I was talking to, does that mean rosé, you kind of split the difference?
Yeah, rosé, and then there's actually some white varietals as well.
Okay.
Like I like doing it with Gewürz for a bit. You'll do a bit of what we call a cold soak, and with rosé, what we'll do is called Saunier. So what I like to do and how I like to make rosé myself is I'll take a red varietal, something like, say, Cabernet Sauvignon or Cabernet Franc. I'll put it through the crusher to stemmer, and then I'll bleed off just the juice component after, depends what, could be 12 hours, could be 18 hours.
Oh, that's short, eh?
Yeah. And that's all the time that I'm after to get out not just a good colour for a rosé, but also some of the flavour components that I want as well from sort of the skin contact as well.
Is there any danger, like, do you ever leave it too long on the stove?
You can, yeah, you can.
Where you come back and you go, looks like I've got a red wine now?
Yep. So I hope I can try it again. Yeah, no, I've been lucky so far, fingers crossed.
Is there any cheating? Like, do some people just add white wine to dilute?
You know what, there's sort of two sort of major trains of thought when it comes to rosé style and the way you make it. There's the sort of the Saunier, which is the way I love to do it. And I kid you not, there's the bare bones white plus red equals rosé method of doing it. You'll take a white wine, you'll take a red wine, blend it together, and there's your rosé. I mean, it's really horses for courses. It's how you like to make it.
Right. There's no rule, hard and fast.
There's no hard and fast.
Okay.
I personally think the traditionalists like to do the Saunier. It sounds cool when you say Saunier too.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, you know, for me, it's a better way to make a rosé.
Nice. Now I'm gonna get a shot to roll in over us while we're talking. What with these big silver cylinders with the hole in the bottom and all this? What goes on in there?
So they're tanks. They're both sort of fermentation tanks as well as, once we're finished, storage tanks. So something like a white wine will ferment in stainless steel. Unless I'm doing sort of like a barrel work, like a barrel ferment, I'll once I've pressed out the white wine juice, it'll go to a stainless steel tank, and the fermentation will happen in there. For red wines, I prefer doing them in open bins, but then sometimes I do a red wine ferment in like the same tank as well.
Okay. Now, when you say open tank, what's the open tank process?
So open tank is really, you know, the bins that we use for picking in. Sort of, we call them sort of 1-ton bins. They're really just cubes with open tops.
Okay.
And when we go through the crusher, we'll put the must actually just into the bins, and we'll just let it ferment in these bins. You know, they're about yay big, and you know, you get, you know, instead of saying put a 10-ton into one big tank, we'll put it into, say, maybe 12 bins or something.
Nice.
And you sort of get more sort of a personal one-on-one touch, sort of, you know, more sort of hands-on there. Instead of sort of using a big pump and pumping it over every day to get, you know, that maceration and get the extraction from the skins, you know, you come along with a rake and you have to hand plunge it down every day, which is bloody hard work.
Pretty good exercise, though.
Oh, yeah, you best believe. I know.
Have you noticed also that wine tends to attract flies? Have you noticed that?
Yes, yeah. We were just chatting about that, weren't we? Yeah, they do. It's I know, it's a silly season when it comes to, like...
It's no different than leaving wine bottles like on your kitchen table, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere there they are.
The flies and the fruit flies love this time of year. Oh, you best believe.
Okay, let's go take a look at something else. We'll be back in a second.
Cheers. Yep.
Okay.